All right. Good morning. Another day. How are we feeling today? For those watching the future, I guess I'm climbing that wall of worry and in disbelief. I mean, if you told me a few days ago that Bitcoin would be at 119, I would have thought you were crazy. And here we are. Now we have from swing low to swing high here, 702 retrace that we're breaking through. It doesn't seem to me like we would just slice right through that like it's nothing. But I'm not going to complain. So, okay. All right. I'll wait for people to get in here so we can chat. It's not a bear market for Binance, that's for sure. Hello, Sarah, XDeFi. Hello, Mark. Oh, Malta, okay. Do we see dump? Got to see something, some correction from here. We can't go up only. It's been pretty crazy. So yeah, short term, I mean, that would make sense to me, but you gotta ride with the trend right now. Ooh, you know what? Oh no, never mind. I was seeing something on the daily chart here that I was like, ooh, maybe we're gonna break some resistance on the RSI, but nah, never mind. Hello, SDS Rap Sheet. Where are the Bollingers? That would be good to know. Let's see. Yeah, we're flirting with the upper band on the daily on the Bollingers. There's probably going to be some resistance here short term. So I would think that we're not going to like just keep on going straight up from here. Like we might take a breather a little bit, for the rest of the week at least. How's the market? Market looks good. It's fine. I mean, is anyone complaining right now? Now, loving the metals. Zero Coin, thanks for the follow. So here's the deal. We're talking with silver about a 45-year cup and handle. All right. So I am not of the mindset that it's just going to slice through $50 like it's nothing. It's at $48. So I wouldn't be surprised if silver stalled out here. I mean, I'd be pretty ecstatic if silver just kept on pumping, but that seems very unlikely to me when we're talking about 45 years of resistance. So great. I have my miners, my gold and silver miners are killing it right now. I have my silver, I have my gold. But you know what? The idea that these would stall would actually be a really good thing for crypto because gold tends to go vertical and then right after it stalls, crypto goes vertical. So Ira, thanks for the follow. Thoughts on Tau? Let me look at the Tau chart. Glad you dumped your singing career to focus on crypto. Thank you. I had a moment, How many kilograms of gold do I own? I own 0 kilograms. I don't own that much gold. I've gone in and out of the ETF. So Tau might be at some resistance here, but if it breaks through, altcoins have still kind of been underperforming Bitcoin. He's lying. Oh, what about singing? Yeah, Tau doesn't look amazing. I mean, it is in a downtrend right now. So I'd be a little bit nervous about Tau short term. I want to see some strength in that chart. And then Say's reclaimed. All right, Say looks like it's had a false breakdown. I like Say a little bit more than Tau. So that looks better. Thank you, Luxury Cigar Reviewer. Yeah, I may or may not be live on another platform. Good afternoon, Crowman. That was funny. It was just an audio, somebody else's audio. When are alts going parabolic? Hopefully soon-ish. We need to see Ethereum on the other side of an all-time high and actually hold it. And then I'll be a lot more excited about the idea of alts going parabolic. Thank you, Gav's dad. Hello, Strawberry Man. Speaking of gold, do you know when would be a good time to sell or should just hold? Keeps going up. Listen. So I sold my gold earlier this year, and I don't really regret it. I sold my gold around the time it got to $3,500 because my wife was like, oh man, we should really buy gold. She was getting gold fever. Now, I will be buying gold. I'll be buying a lot of gold whenever the bear market is. So I'm not worried about gold climbing another $400 from when I sold it. I think it's going to come back down. But short term, I mean, I think it's going to chop. So like after this, I mean, I think now is actually a good time to sell gold. I think this is like a short squeeze. And then there'll be some kind of a correction. But listen, I mean, gold is a hodl kind of thing, man. You know, do I regret selling it? I mean, I'm more of a trader anyway, but if there's anything that I should just hold on to for the rest of my life, it's gold. So, it's very likely to me that we're getting overextended here and that what comes next for gold is some kind of consolidation or a drop. So, all right, AVAX, your thoughts, please. I have a big bag of AVAX, so there's some thoughts. It's been a little frustrating lately, but you know, it filled a zone that I was waiting for it to fill, and it's just climbing higher now. So I still have a lot of confidence in it. You know, I'm hoping for double or triple my gains here for AVAX. GM Gav's dad. Good morning, Eric. Hello, Costa Spawn. Yo, yo, yo. Good morning. Don't be suspicious. Do you think we range dump or keep pumping? I think we're due for at least a chop. You know, maybe some kind of a move down in crypto. So at least crypto is harder to steal. Yeah, that's true. The weekend small pullback to cool down. Weekends are generally flat. It's worrying Bitcoin pumping, alts hardly moving. I'm not worried. Again, so Ethereum, you know, Ethereum's doing fine. Yeah, Bitcoin's outperforming Ethereum right now. But, you know, there's people who called for this, like Benjamin Cohen called for this. Bitcoin dominance is on its way to a lower high. And the way I'm looking at it, I think it's going to get rejected off the 21-week EMA, which by the time it does that at some point in October, that would be a little higher than 60% Bitcoin dominance. So will silver and gold have a bear market? Yeah. But so let's say we were to see some kind of like a .com bust, great financial crisis kind of crash. Gold and silver will go down, but I mean, look at what happens historically after those crashes. I mean, both times, the .com bust and the great financial crisis, after the crash, gold and silver ripped really hard. Like it was insane. So that's what I would expect to happen. I'd expect to see $10,000 an ounce silver and like $200 to $300 an ounce, or sorry, $10,000 an ounce gold and $200 to $300 an ounce silver. And then the miners, I'm telling you, that's my alt season. Like crypto alt season, cherry on top. My alt season is the gold and silver miners, man. There are still many, many X's to be made. Holding metal since 2000. Yeah, I have the fever. There you go. That's what you should do. Hello, Izzy. Thoughts on Quant? 107. Yeah, Quant did exactly what I thought it was going to do. It went to $88. It went to 86. Let me be honest. I called for 88 and recovered very well. So now Quant looks good to go. Do you think TARS AI is going to hit an all-time high? We need alt season. We need something. So if we get an alt season, yeah. Or an alt moment even. I think what's coming next for the fourth quarter is not full-blown alt season like 2021, but better than last year. Better than last fourth quarter. Ah, crap. I'm picking a scab. It was hurting me. All right. Let's see. How's HEEHEE doing? I mean, it's climbing slowly. Meme coins are just kind of slow movers right now, but there'll be a time. You have examples of gold miners to buy. SBSW, Sabine Stillwater, ticker SBSW. Caledonia Mining is another one. Caledonia Mining, there's several that I have. GDX is an ETF. GDXJ is also an ETF. That's the junior miners. I have some silver miners as well. AG, and then SIL and SILJ. Those are also ETFs. Those are the ones off the top of my head. I have some other ones. So price target, VeChain, or thoughts, whatever you're comfortable with. I don't know, but I like VeChain. So, like I've said before, if there were one cryptocurrency that I was like, I must double my bags, VeChain would be that crypto. Beyond its 2024 peak, what would that be? 8 cents, beyond 8 cents. If alts run better than last year, I'll be happy. That's a good run. We don't need 2021 to make decent money. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. GDX, yeah, that's one of them. DevTuber. Is there a good ETF that has gold and silver within one ETF? I have no idea. I know, I've had just the BlackRock ones, SLV and GLD. Thoughts on buyback models where exchanges use part of the fees to buy their own token, sustainable? Oh yeah, definitely. I like cryptos that do that. That is something that's very attractive to me. So cryptos that make money, it's like, yeah, sign me up. Man, I'm bleeding. I got too aggressive picking a scab. So, all right, SDS, thank you for the super chat. Show me the XRP chart. So XRP is, I have a general thesis as to what I think is going to happen with XRP. So you can see it's kind of like it's at resistance, hopefully going to reclaim a level that it lost. But XRP, my general thought is that XRP, like the market will pump, Ethereum will hit a new all-time high, and then XRP, like people will get really frustrated with XRP, and then one day out of nowhere it's going to rip. So I have a projection here. I'm not married to it, Oh man, there's nothing I can do about that if that's going to happen. So hopefully something like this will happen with XRP where, all right, rejection, claim, get up to like 310 or something, back test, and then move higher, but we'll see. Do you have VeChain? Yes. Where would you start taking profits on near? A decent amount higher. I really like the near chart right now. So yeah, not quite. I don't know. I just take profits, I don't have any specific level that I'm looking at. But yeah, near looks pretty good. Got to break through 293 here. That's some resistance, but holding the 200-day moving average, holding some key levels of support there. So, maybe I'd start thinking about around $4 or so, just take a little off the table. ADA looks fine. Cardano, it'll do what it does. Yeah, Cardano looks pretty good. Opal by Clemens, is it another scam? Oh, Opal, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I have no idea if it's a scam or not. I mean, but lots of cryptos are scams, so I don't see it on TradingView. First time you go alive and the market is green. Great call on miners, thank you. Senior Frisk, I don't know if you're joking or something, or maybe you haven't seen me. I have gone. I go live every day, Tuesday through Friday. What are you talking about, man? That's such a ridiculous comment. The first time, it's the first time you go live. You only go live when the market is green. I remember in January of 2023, Bitcoin ripped to $19,000, and people made that comment. People made that comment like, you're only live now because the market's pumping. It was at $19,000. Hello, Foregone. Foregone is in the house. Uniswap. I mean, I kind of already gave you an entry. I don't know if you took it or not, but I did see Uniswap. Like, I gave you 786. Yes, we spent a few days below 786. It went to 730 or so. That was still a good entry, you know? So now I would ride this up to $9.83, something like that. I think you'll get there. And sure, it can go higher, but thanks a lot for the Rismus shout out weeks ago. Yeah, thank you, Luxury Cigar Reviewer. If you have nothing to say, don't say it at all. Glint Gold Pay. Ange, I don't know what that is. 22 Goose, thanks for the follow. Why are you not selling your Bitcoin at the top and buying back in at the bear market? Please elaborate. I just like holding my Bitcoin just in case. You know, if what my mindset is if Bitcoin goes absolutely parabolic, it goes on a tear, then I'll sell some. But otherwise, if it's doing what it's been doing over the last year, I'm not interested in selling. So let me be weird like that, you know? SBSW is a gold miner, isn't it? Sabine Stillwater. All right, so it gets a boost on higher platinum. So it's a metals miner. All right, so it's not just a gold miner. Bro, but every time ETF APRO-C market dump. Huh, okay. NY Jason, thanks for the follow. Cardano, already looked at that. Hello, Anthony. What's your target for Pengu? I'm very bullish on Pengu. I really do think, like, if we hit Euphoria, I would think that Pengu would 10x from here. So, hey, KYT. Thoughts on Aster? I'm not interested at all in Aster right now. It's just, you know, it made people's dreams come true. Now, I have like $100 of Aster just in case, but it's already multiple billions, or maybe it's over $1 billion. I just don't like buying new cryptos like that already pumped really hard up to $1 billion, and you know, people sharing their screenshots of their gains on X and stuff like that. I'd rather find those earlier than then. Now Aster, sure, it could go much higher, but not really interested. Let's see. Do you think we finally see alt season this year? I think we'll have something better than fourth quarter of last year. If I sell all my gold, what's a good stock I should rotate to? Don't sell all of it. And what's a good stock? I mean, man, I don't know. I'd be hesitant selling gold. Like, listen, everything is in a major bear market versus gold, and that's not changing anytime soon. Like literally everything, including Bitcoin. And so look at the S&P 500 versus gold. This is mega bearish. Let me get to the S&P 500 versus gold peaked in 2021. The Nasdaq versus gold peaked in 2021. The Dow Jones versus gold peaked in 2018. Bitcoin versus gold. Bitcoin peaked in December of 2024. Now, sure, we could put in a new all-time high, but Bitcoin's chart price in gold looks pretty bearish. So gold, I would not sell my gold. And listen, what stocks should you get into? Maybe, you know, you want to sell some of your gold and get into a gold miner like SBSW or Caledonia Mining. Then sure, go ahead. You know, stocks like Riot Against Gold broke out. I'm not a huge believer in the Bitcoin miners. I'd be very hesitant to buy those right now. And I play around with the Bitcoin miners. I'll sell options, but man, yeah, they've been incredibly disappointing this cycle. All right, Foregone. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't long at 7.8. Would you long now or wait? I'd wait. Bitcoin's right up against resistance on the daily Bollinger Bands. So I'd wait for 7.86. Yeah. Let's see. What are some good gold and silver miners? I already listed all those. I'm sorry. They all look good. It's actually Adel season, October. Let's roll. Thoughts on XCN? Going to bore you to death. Dogecoin targets, please. I don't know, but I'm selling all of mine at 53 cents if it gets there. What are chances of a huge crash from here under 5%? There's always chances of a huge crash in crypto. There's certainly, I would say, a high chance of some kind of correction short term, next few days here. So, 5%, huge crash at some point. But I am a believer in October. I'm a believer in the fourth quarter. Let's see. Pity Bitcoin was $19 again. Now, hey, what? Thought about Nero. Is it NEI? Nah, not right now at least. Give it some time. I'm sure it'll do something. Sharkle, thanks for the follow. Pendle might right now be up against some resistance. Yeah. Well, maybe. Actually, I'm looking at Pengu. Yeah, Pendle right at this moment is up against some resistance, but I wouldn't be surprised if it broke through. So I wouldn't touch it right at this moment. I'd wait for maybe a move down to the 21-week EMA. No, not that low. Maybe like 470. Solana October target. I have no idea. How about 250? Ondo. Ondo looks pretty good. Looks like it reclaimed a range. It had a false breakout and then a false breakdown. So Ondo looks pretty good right now. Epic. What's Epic at? I'm seeing some support at 174. It did move a little bit lower than that last week. So that's what I'll give you. Feels like we're still so far from 2024 highs for so many cryptos. Yeah, pretty much. And I don't mean to downplay that at all. I mean, like for a lot of altcoins, we're still, and I just don't see it happening, that a great deal of them would come back to those highs. I mean, I'm very wary of the small caps. Larger caps, I have a lot of hope for. Palm AI, I'm sure it looks terrible. Sell all ETH. Sol can go higher this quarter. Not necessarily. I would not do that. Yeah, Palm. I'm not seeing anything exciting about Palm AI right now. So we'll see. I mean, maybe at some point. That's the kind of crypto that I have no interest in buying. These 2024 utility tokens that were created with this idea that we're going to have this mega bull run in 2025, and here we are. How do you like Pengu? I love it. Could you have a look? Yeah, all right. Foregone, I really need to become a member. Yeah, sure. I mean, you spend more than members do. But thank you for the super chats. Good morning, Alan. Alliance. Are we hyped up on this market or what? Yeah, man. I'm so hyped. Do you think Solana will drop below $200 soon? No. Tau, already looked at it. It's up against resistance. I'd hold off a little bit for now on Tau. Virtuals, I'm assuming, doesn't look all that great. No. I'd hold off on virtuals too. Filecoin, Todd, you've been around. I feel like you should know the drill right now with me and Filecoin. I'm just not a big fan of it. They have terrible tokenomics. And, you know, I guess you could say risk to reward is on your side right now, but still. Looks like Borg Exchange just started buyback and blew up this week. Do you see some more up potential? I've never heard of Borg. I will say, oh, Swissborg. Never mind. Oh, wow. Okay. So here's something. There's somebody I follow. What's his name? Credible Crypto. Bull Crypto on X. And he talked about a crypto that's never really been on my radar. And he made a very compelling case that it's very highly undervalued and it should perform well. And that's Origin Trail. I went back to 6th grade there for a second. Origin Trail, the ticker is TRAC, TRAC. I'm not going to elaborate what he said, but you should all look into what he said about it. It was a good argument about like their revenues and the value right now. So that's Credible Crypto, Bull Crypto on X. All right, IMX entry, we're close. 64.4. If it can get there, you know, maybe. It might not get there, but that's where I would set an entry there. How is Athena looking? I actually opened a long on Athena yesterday. I saw lots of support at the trend line, at the 21-week EMA, and I thought, you know what, this is a good value play. I'm up a good amount on that. So now with Athena, I tend to think, you know, worst case scenario, we'd get up to some kind of moving average and get rejected there, like 67 cents. It's probably where I'll close my long. But, you know, it did put in a lower low. So you got to be careful with that. That's why I'd probably be looking to exit my long around 67 cents. So Borg, sure, man. Borg looks, now it went vertical, so I wouldn't touch it at this moment. Dex coins on base thought. I'm sure they'll do fine at some point. I don't, you know, what do we have for what? Aerodrome, Velodrome. Aero looks pretty good. Spark. I don't know what Spark is. GM Jamie. Illusion of Life? Or is it just Spark? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pass on that. Did you look at H-bar? I have not. Let's see. It's okay. You know, found some support at the moving averages, the 20-week SMA. I'm confidently holding H-bar for the time when XRP rips, but that could be a while. Arrow, good entry. I gave you one last week. I mean, I'm sorry, man. Right now it looks okay, but I said 98 cents. It went down to 95 cents. So you kind of missed that entry. Now I think we can, you know, Arrow can climb a bit here. So X402 Dex on base. What is that, man? X402. I don't see a chart for on trading view. I'm gonna have to pass on that. Could you look at Avalanche? I already did. It looks fine. It's grinding higher. Will you still do content in the bear market? I will definitely be cutting it down a lot. I'll still be here. But in the bear market, it's just one, I need to focus on my own trading at that time a lot more than doing live streams and stuff. Number two, even if I were to call this perfectly, which I won't, it's people are vicious in the bear market, and I'm gonna need to just kind of take a few steps back. So top coins to go within top 10 to 50. Avalanche, Cardano, Dogecoin. That's not 10 to 50, I know, but VeChain, there's some. Doge looks good. Doge looks pretty good, yeah. At 25.4, looks like, it's recovering. Not in a downtrend. One of the few that's not in a downtrend. Spark is SPK. I'll get to it in a second. Crow, I mentioned earlier this week, Crow looked like it bottomed out. Some people were really upset with me because I said that, when Crow got up to 38 cents, that it was going to go under 20 cents. And it did. It's exactly what happened. It went down to 18 and a half cents or something like that. And now, a few days ago, I said Crow's a good buy, and here we are. Crow's trending up again. So you're a little bit late, but you're not too late. You want to buy some crypto.com. All right, Spark is SPK. The chart doesn't look good. I mean, it's new, so I don't really have much analysis that I can give to it. Yeah, I mean, can it go all that much lower? It's filled every gap, so maybe this is a good time, but I just don't know enough about it. Ondo TVL is at 1.7 billion. That has to be really good news. Yeah, that's why I like Ondo. Price target for Pengu end of this year? I don't. Let me just throw something out. How about 75 cents? 7.5 cents. Bro, I'm sitting on mostly cash. Should have bought last week. Top plays for Q4 that are in the top 50 cryptos. I already mentioned that, Sean. Do you think Beam can 20x? I'm sorry, Sean. There's just certain people that you're a good guy. I have no ill will towards you. I just need a break. All right. So do I think Beam can 20x? We need absolute euphoria. Absolute euphoria. And Solnick says 7.5 cents. Absolute euphoria, 7.5 cents. Yes. And I like Solnick. Thoughts on Litecoin? I would not touch it right now, but at some point, because Litecoin's weird, man. It'll just it'll rip, and then it'll just really mess with you. If you're trying to trade it. I've given up trying to trade Litecoin. Yes, 7.5 cents SDS. So at this moment, I don't know. I wouldn't touch it. H-bar, please. Already talked about it. It'll rip when XRP rips. ICP targets for end of year, $8. Guys, if you're asking me end of year price targets, I'm just going to tell you the same thing that I'm telling. You got to understand my mindset. I'm not in this boat that we must have this big explosive alt season in the fourth quarter. I am not of that mindset. All right. So you're asking end of year. I'm assuming that you're asking a question of all right, it's time. It's the fourth quarter. Everything's going to explode and we're going to make our millions. And you got to watch my YouTube video from yesterday, because I'm looking at manufacturing. And what does that have to do with it? Everything. And there are some pieces in place right now for us to have a nice move in altcoins, but all the pieces are not in place right now. Some pieces are in place, but when you look at 2021 and you look at 2018, it was like the stars aligned for this perfect storm of just an explosion of risk-on activity. And so don't hear bearishness from me when I'm saying that. What you should hear is that we have some pieces in place for altcoins to do well, but not all the pieces in place. All right, so this dude asking about Beam doing a 20x. No. And especially not in 2025. but like, what are the pieces that are missing right now? Excessive money printing in QE. We are still in a phase of quantitative tightening, and manufacturing. Manufacturing. If you look at ISM manufacturing report, you gotta pay attention to that. And what you'll see is that whenever the crypto market peaks, this is called the business cycle, guys. Whenever the crypto market peaks, manufacturing is exploding. Manufacturing is doing very well. And whenever the crypto market doesn't do well, manufacturing is also not in a good spot. And right now, we're like this. We've bottomed out and we are clearly like in an upward move, but we're still very close to the bottom. So, no, Beam's not going to 20x. And whatever crypto you're hoping is going to 10x by the end of the year, it's probably not going to 10x. You'll make money. Or you know what? Here's what's going to happen. A lot of you will make money, and then you won't listen to me. You'll listen to the Moon Boys, and you'll believe that that if you just hold on a little bit longer, that you'll make your 100x gains, and then you'll round trip. It happens. It's happened twice now in this cycle. So you're going to do that again? Are you going to do that again? I fear that some of you are going to do that. You're telling yourself right now, there's no way I'm going to do that again, and you're going to do it again. Already fell into the trap of Moon Boys, especially for Ethereum. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm still bullish on Ethereum. I think it's going to hit a new all-time high. So ICP targets end of the year. How about $8? AOs or FET? None of the above. I'm so down on older AI cryptos. They've already had their 100x's. Epic Chain with the reverse head and shoulders. Inverse head and shoulders, sure. How high will Bonk go? No idea. How about a 100x on Bonk? That's sarcasm. Tap the screen is giving a lot of good info. Fairs, thank you. I'm down like 40% of my portfolio, man. I'm about to give up. Do you have any advice? 40% is you're probably doing a lot better than a lot of other people. Listen, I would not give up right now. I would ride October out, and then I'd see what November gives us, and even December. So now's not a good time to give up. Macroeconomics is terrible at the moment. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be at this point. What are your thoughts on Dovu? What is Dovu? All right. Let's see. Does anyone? All right. Let's see. What are the best stocks for dividends? I have ETFs. My favorite one is QQQI, NASDAQ, but trading, and then JEPQ. Those provide pretty fat returns, like 15% annual. And my hope is that they just stay, at least just stay the same price. All about the business cycle. Exactly right. So Dovu looks like a double top. This chart does not look bullish right now, at least. Eventually, I would be more excited about it. Not that I know anything about it. If it got down to like 0.0029 or 0.003, that's where you have to be brave when it's low. We will round trip. Prediction for Ondo at the end of the year. Everything that I just said about the business cycle, about the stars not being perfectly aligned, keep that in mind. And I'll say like $1.50, $2. How about that? When to sell XRP? Higher than its current price. Higher than its current price. I don't know, man. A lot of questions. I just don't really. I have my general mindset, but I don't have a system in place that is going to cause me to sell things at this price and this price and this price, Deep Book. Can I take a look at Deep Book? I'm not loving the chart, and I actually have some Deep Book. Now this could change on a dime, but it's right up against some trend line resistance and the 200-day moving average. I tend to think it's going to get rejected here short term, but hopefully, you know, if it were to break through on the other side of that, I'd be a lot more excited about it. So, all right. Bro, you think 2026 full year will be bear market? User 171, welcome back. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm way behind on the comments on TikTok. No, I don't think so. I think so. Here's what I think is going to happen in 2026. I think all the people who all their eggs are in the 2025 basket, they'll leave, and maybe the first quarter of 2026 will not be good. And then after that, you know, all those 4-year halving cycle people, guys, they're going to be waiting to buy back in at the end of 2026, and they're going to be completely sidelined. That's what I think is going to happen. Ben Cohen was wrong. He said said 3.6K ETH and Bitcoin dominance to rocket. I know he said 3.6K ETH. He's not quite wrong yet about Bitcoin dominance. So you will keep a portion of your holding in market even on January 2026. I wouldn't be surprised if I sold all my crypto in 2025 with the intention of buying back in. But you've got to understand, I have much more of a swing trading mindset than a hold on for dear life mindset. I'm much more of a swing trader. I've already started skimming profits to avoid round tripping. All right. I'm in ETH long 20x20 since 38.80. All right, listen, you know, I'm not a big fan of high leverage, but awesome. Good for you. I bought Ondo near the top back in January, and I've been holding since then. It's tiring. I'm sorry, man. You know, you got to have weaker hands than that. That's so funny for me to say. You've got to have weaker hands. I am, paper is too strong of a substance for me. I am I'm lettuce hands with every crypto other than Bitcoin. I've seen so many people lose it all. Yeah, you have to be very organized with trading SDS. When bear can start, what do you think? I mean, we've been in a bear for altcoins for quite a while now. So this cycle is so different in that regard. It's like, when does the bear start? I mean, when does the bear end is my question for these altcoins. Sliced right through the 8-year trend line as well. What sliced through, Will? I haven't made my millions, but I've doubled my investment so far. That's success. That's a successful thing. All right, guys, I can't keep up on TikTok. Sorry. AI16Z, what can it reach? Oh, Ziomo. Thoughts on Say? I like Say right now. I already looked at it, so I'll just say that. How about a 236 retrace for AI16Z? I mean, this chart looks dead. I'd be ecstatic with a 236. That's a 7x, 67 cents. Do you think render can go back to December price? No. We low key in a bear market now. We high key in a bear market. I don't know if I said that right. You know, low key versus high key. I don't think render is going back to its December price. Again, you know, I know that like that's a very sexy pick. The AI cryptos are still, but like no. They've already had their huge bull runs, and people even now are still up big time from their bear market bottoms. Lion King, thanks for the follow. Will CEME come back? You got to ask Crypto Bastard that. I don't know. Regardless of what Bitcoin does, most alts still won't get back to December highs. A lot of the small caps will not. AVAX, please. I already talked about AVAX. I like AVAX right now. I've talked about it 3 times already. I'm sorry. Rizzo on Sol, do you think it can go to $1 billion this year? Rizzo? Okay, let's see Rizzo. It's at a $5 million market cap. You're asking if it's going to go to $1 billion? No. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of intrigued by this. More so like the volume. You know, a lot of these cryptos, I remember Rizzo at the end of 2024. A lot of these cryptos for like, it has 111,000 volume, which I'm sure sounds really low, but like, that's pretty good for a crypto that, you know, like this. So maybe this is worth getting into. I'm going to make a mental note of that. If you hold Arrow on Coinbase, we'll get Coinbase. I have no idea, Sai. Thanks for the follow, though. How much for AI16Z? I got lagged. Oh, gosh, man. At the absolute best, I mean, it looks dead. In a 236 retrace, that's a 67 cents. Vet price prediction beyond its 2024 peak. Do you think Ondo will go past its all-time high? I love Ondo fundamentally. I think eventually in 2024, probably, or sorry, in 2025, probably not. Is he done with? Absolutely not, Mitch. Do you think most mid caps will 3 to 4x by end of the year? That seems a little aggressive, Dana. And again, you've got to understand my mindset. The stars aren't perfectly aligned. So at some point, yeah, you know, I mean, $7 to $10 trillion market cap. I am still of the mindset. So at some point, yeah, mid caps by the end of the year. I don't think so. Elon speaks to the team of Rizzo. Yeah, AI XBT. Oh, that's different. All right, AI XBT. Yeah, it looks terrible. I mean, so many of these cryptos. I don't know what to say about this. It looks like it's dead. Sure, at some point, again, it can bounce back. Maybe hit a 236 retrace or something. I don't know. All right, AI cryptos are shells except for Tau. I'm not willing to go there. I've looked into some of them, like Render. Render has a lot of real world use case. So, oh man, excuse me. Take a look at Soul Pump. Nah. One Traver for life. Thanks for the follow. Rez, what can it do? What's 20x? You're asking about 20x. You're on the wrong channel, man. All right, wait. I'm gonna look at Soul Pump. $1.4 million. Why am I looking at this? All right, it's very new. Okay. You know, I've got nothing for you. All right, can you chart API 3? Soul Pump is a rug pull. Okay. API 3, I mean, it might have bottomed. You know, I opened a short on API 3 when it pumped. I mean, it, you know, even you could say it's still in an uptrend. 10 wallets hold 80%. I actually like that. I like supply control because like people just jeet all the time. Yeah, maybe API 3 has bottomed, honestly. Jake Claver believes XRP won't drop in bear market like the alts. Your thoughts, please. I'm going to buy XRP. I'm going to buy XRP under $1 in the bear market. Were the stars perfectly aligned at the end of 2024 because things 3 to 5x'd? Some, I mean, did they all? I don't know. The total crypto market cap or total 2, total 3 didn't 3 to 5x. And no, they didn't perfectly align. You know, you're asking a little bit of a loaded question there when you say because things 3 to 5. Yeah, sure, some things 3 to 5x'd, but others didn't. Lots of cryptos didn't. Zen price target. If not a 3 to 4x, can large alts 2x by end of 2025? Yeah. I mean, I'm holding Avalanche, I'm holding Dogecoin and Sui, expecting a 2x at least. All right, Horizon. Zen has pumped out of nowhere. I have no idea why. I don't know what this crypto is. Seems like a scam pump to me, but you never know. So who knows? I don't know. It's on Coinbase. Okay. I'm very cautious of Coinbase cryptos. They seem to have lots of scam pumps. So we'll see. Bought Dash at $26.2. Where did you buy Dash? You bought it at 26.2. Oh, man. I'd be very cautious with Dash. It pumped out of nowhere. I would honestly just sell now. If I bought Dash, I mean, I wouldn't have bought Dash at 26, but I would sell now. You got a nice, 40% gain, something like that. But you do you. Is a 3x for blue chips in fourth quarter realistic? It can happen, yeah. All right. I see your comment about the team members connected to Elon. Please, let's move on. Doge looks bullish. How come alt's still in the gutter? I don't know. Can you check Hey Anon? It looks terrible. SDS, I already looked at Kronos. It looks like it bottomed out. That's a good one to get, in my opinion. Yeah, Hey Anon looks dead. I mean, who knows? I've actually used Hey Anon before. I liked it, so you never know. Sometimes I think this whole cycle was designed to get retail out of the market for 2026 bull run. Who knows? Maybe. That's an interesting hypothesis. All right, thoughts on Flay? $25.4 million. Showing some signs of life. I mean, it's not like it's got amazing volume for FDV 8.2. I don't know what's up with that. It's a base token launchpad. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's some potential. Showing some signs of life. I'd play it for the retrace. I don't have a price target. Oh, what's a good entry for Bitcoin? Yeah, if you miss the pump. I'm going to look at the Bollingers, and I'm going to say the middle Bollinger Band, whatever that is. So let me look at it real quick. Oh, there it is. Okay. The middle Bollinger is right now like 114, but every day it's going to rise from here. So it's probably going to get up to, by the time Bitcoin would come down, maybe around 116. We'll see. Maybe that. Bitcoin about to hit 120. Okay. Bitcoin will come back to 111. I don't think so. I mean, that would be the lower end of the Bollingers, so maybe. Let's see, what cryptos will you be accumulating in the bear market? Bitcoin, XRP, HBAR, Render. So I like Render, just not right now. HEEHEE and Solnic. What else? I'll be buying a lot of MicroStrategy. I mean, MicroStrategy went from $13 in the bear market to 500 or something like that. So is it worth going in a small cap since I'm down 30K to 18K on Ondo? Small caps. So there's a scenario where I could see Total 2 going to price discovery, the total altcoin market cap going to price discovery, and because there's so many cryptos that some of those small caps would just do nothing. So what's the small cap? You want to miss out? I think Ondo will provide you some gains, but those small caps, it's much more of a gamble. Some will do very well and others won't. Why he? Because it's my crypto. Hey, Alex, watch your video today. You say Bitcoin will go below 100K. Do you have any targets now? I did not say anything about Bitcoin going under 100K. Like in the bear market, 100K, yeah. Under 100K, absolutely. But if we're talking about October or November, no. I don't know where you got that. What platform you use for coins on leverage? Bitmart and BitUnix. I like BitUnix more. Thoughts on Zcash? I wouldn't touch Zcash. I would not touch it. Oh my goodness. Why would anyone buy this right now? It's gone from, August 21st, it was $34, and this is not a small cap crypto. Now it's $150. That's insane. Sure, it can keep going higher, but you're just gambling right now. And if you buy Zcash, what's funny is if everyone just bought Bitcoin and ETH in 2023 instead of small caps, they'd be set. Yeah. Did Link really partner with Swift? I have no idea. Don't care. I don't care about partnerships at all. So, all right, Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine looks okay. It looks like it did bottom, but now, it's in a clear downtrend. And so you got to be careful with Jasmine. Yeah, that would work. It's probably, it might get, I'll be more interested in it after breaking through a trend line that I just drew. If it were to get up to this price today, that would be like 0.0139, something like that. Tried shorting cash, but not on BitUnix. Yeah, it's not on BitUnix or Bitmart. But I don't mess around with those privacy coins. I think that's a gambling play. Jasmine needs euphoria. A lot of cryptos need euphoria. What coins are you actually bullish on? Interested to see your take on chain. I've been saying consistently, cryptos between 11 and 50 in market cap are the ones that I have most of my focus on right now. Those cryptos, along with Cardano and Dogecoin, those are top 10. But so Avalanche, VeChain, what else? Man, my mind's kind of in a fog right now. Just 11 through 50 cryptos mostly. What do you think of Radium? The chart doesn't look all that great, even though Solana's been doing pretty well. Another one that looks like it might have bottomed out. That's fine. But it's just chopping. At some point, that's why for me it's 11 through 50 right now. Because these cryptos can continue to chop while Total 2 is putting in new highs and stuff. And then eventually maybe we'll get a rotation to them. Yeah, these charts look pretty good. Total 2 and Total 3 look pretty good. Are you even down this cycle? Oh, no. I'm up huge this cycle. So basically all the normie coins. For now, yeah. For now, absolutely. User262, thanks for the follow. How would I be down this cycle? All right, I don't know how long you've been here on this, how long you've been following me. But I won this cycle in March of 2024. I locked in enough gains that no matter what happens, even if I went to zero with my portfolio, I won. But then, I sold again in December. I didn't sell enough. I sold 40% of my portfolio in December of 2024. So even then, after that, I won. And then I bought stocks. I bought a lot of stocks. A lot of miners, a lot of precious metals miners. And those things, I'm very bullish on them still, and they've been killing it for me. So listen, I haven't been perfect. There were times that I sold at the worst possible time. But yeah, I'm up this cycle for sure. Damn, bro, you're cool. Thank you. Still made more than the rest of us because you sold. Listen, I'm married to nothing. I have no expectations, or no, I have expectations. Like, am I bullish for Q4? I'm bullish for Q4, absolutely. But like, I'll abandon ship in a heartbeat. That's what I did in December of 2024. I was skeptical of that run the whole time. You guys know that. I was skeptical, and it was like, "Oh, we're doing exactly what we did in 2020, and then look at what happened in 2021. 2025 is going to be just like 2021." And I was like, as soon as I started seeing that ship sinking, I was like, "I'm out." You will do better if you divorce yourself from any idea that you are married to right now. Now, I'll use anything. There are no rules, only guides. That's something that I've been preaching for years. I will use anything as kind of like, okay, this is how it worked in the past. Sure, maybe it'll work this time around, and then if we follow along, we'll follow along with certain patterns, and then as soon as we deviate from those patterns, it's time to move on. So, assuming it's a good time to sell Bitcoin and buy 11 to 50. Rob, I'm never going to recommend that. Now, if you want my opinion as to do I think you will make gains if you sell your Bitcoin and buy those mid caps now, yes. But I'm not selling my Bitcoin to buy 11 through 50. I'm selling other stuff. 20 cents possible for VET at some point. 11 through 150 coins hitting December 2024 highs. Some of them. I'm so cooked. I'm 10K in debt because of crypto too. This market has not been kind, and I'm sorry for that. Well, all right. I've got to move on. I'm sorry. This live stream is now coming to a close, so I'll be back tomorrow. I'm assuming with Devin, your boy Ski, and we'll chat. Have a good one. Thank you, Rob.